So what I'm holding here in my hands is not just a guitar, it is weaponized punk rock history. Yes indeed folks, this is a Les Paul Custom, based on a 1974 Les Paul Custom. Now before anyone contacts my wife to tell her that I have spent a fortune on a guitar, this does not belong to me, it belongs to my mate Richie. Now a bit of background here. Here is Steve Jones. Here's Steve Jones's amp and Steve Jones's Les Paul on a stage in Portugal at the end of last year. Here is my mate Richie. And here is my mate Richie and Steve Jones himself. Richie took the photographs of Mr. Jones's Les Paul on stage. More on that at the end of the video. So this is a very nice guitar. This I expect is currently a very expensive guitar. This is a 2008 Gibson Custom inspired by Steve Jones Les Paul, an almost original copy of Steve Jones's original 1974 Les Paul. So before we go any further, maybe a little bit of history on Jones's Les Paul. So in 2008, Gibson Custom Shop produced what is said to be 150 of these copies, which replicates Jones's with all the wear and tear. Now it does say 150 on the internet, but I'm not entirely sure how many they made. Sometimes they make less than that, so there's maybe less than 150. This is serial number 78, so this is the 78th Steve Jones, inspired by Steve Jones Custom Les Paul. Beautiful guitar. So that's what today's video is about. We'll hear some sounds and we'll look at the specs of this guitar. Like I say, it's not my guitar, it belongs to my mate Richie, who has kindly allowed me to document this rather fantastic instrument. So let's have a closer look. So I have owned a couple of 70s Les Paul Customs. They were a bit later on, I think 78 and 79, but this feels very much like a 70s Gibson. It's heavy, it's got a nice and feeling neck on it, and it sounds really good. I really like these pickups. They're obviously not like the T-tops, I guess they would have been in the original, but great sounding guitar, great playing guitar, no fret end binding. And all the wear and tear, like we saw in that video there. I mean, this looks the part, and I think it sounds the part. So let's hear some more sounds. And producing those sounds are these pickups. I will show you the readings from the pickups in the bridge position, in the middle position, and in the neck position. Now, I said the neck's pretty comfortable, feels very much like my 79 Les Paul standard, but let's look at the actual specs and measurement of this neck. And it weighs 5 kilograms. So what do I think of it? I think it's absolutely fantastic. I wish I had one, but they're not cheap guitars these days. Like I said, rumour is 150, chances are maybe less than that. These are very rare guitars. Richie does not play this out a lot. He has played it a couple of times in a band that we were in, just doing covers. We would turn up and do punk rock covers. And Richie was rocking the stage in pubs with this super cool, super expensive guitar. So massive thank you to Richie for owning this guitar. I would love to own this guitar, but it's well out of my price range. So how did Richie end up getting a picture with Mr. Steve Jones? Well, it's a long story. So as well as being a great friend, giving me a loan of that guitar, Richie is also a great guitar player. Him and I have played in bands here and there over the years, but at the moment he is in The Godfathers. He joined The Godfathers, I think maybe 2020. So they've done plenty of European shows, and I think it was October, November last year. I will look here. In fact, August of last year, they were doing a festival in Vilar de Mouros, wherever that may be. It is in Portugal, I believe. And let's look at the bill on that. So on the 20th is James the Cooks, the Strangler, Star Sailor, Altered Images. But on the 21st of August, it's the Sex Pistols featuring Frank Carter, The Damned, Palais Royal, who I don't know, and The Godfathers. So they were on the same bill. So Richie was playing on the same stage as Mr. Steve Jones, and before the Godfather set, Richie took some photographs of soundcheck of Steve Jones's gear and the Sex Pistols gear. So let's have a look at that. How cool is that? Richie is a massive Steve Jones fan, hence why he owns the Steve Jones Les Paul. So to be playing a gig with one of your heroes, and what happens? And backstage on the day of the gig, Richie's heading back to the Godfather's dressing room for the beer fridge, walks past the Sex Pistols backstage area, and who's there but Mr. Steve Jones, just sitting down. Now Richie, clearly a massive fan of Steve Jones and the Sex Pistols, probably the reason he started playing guitar, you know, a major influence on him, and he thinks to himself, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, I cannot miss this. So he heads backstage, introduces himself to the man, asks if it's okay to get a photograph taken, gets a photograph taken, has a conversation with him, be like me meeting Joe Perry or something like that, you know, literally unbelievable, a dream come true. And they then watch the Pistols from the side of the stage. Incredible stuff. So there you have it, or here you have it, a 2008 Gibson Custom Steve Jones Les Paul, very limited guitar, owned by my good friend Richie, who was kind enough to give me a loan of this for the last month, just because I never quite got around to making the video when I thought he would. A really, really nice guitar, very expensive guitar these days. I don't imagine I'll be making many more of these. If you can get one, you probably need to get one of these Gibson made to measure things. But yes, a lovely guitar. As ever folks, it's a privilege and a pleasure bringing you content on Dunsi's Guitar World. Cheers for now.